Hello friends, once again to my channel Arnav's A to Z content. Welcome back. I am Arnav Das, a professional blogger, entrepreneur and an YouTuber. Today I will discuss with you one of the most important topic of digital marketing that how which are the core factors in Google Analytics which indicates that your website is performing well. It is a topic for today, and begin with some of the let's begin with some of the important points which are crucial for you to know while you want to marketize your product or digital marketing services through your website towards your target audience. So let's begin. There are 14 important points which are crucial to which will indicate you that your website. There are 14 important points in Google Analytics which will indicate you that your website is performing well in the SERPs. So let's get started. The first point is number of users in the sessions, the number of users and sessions. And the second point is average session duration. The third point is average pages per session. The fourth point is ratio of new to returning visitors. Fifth point is the bounce rate of your website. The sixth point is organic versus paid session. The seventh point is Google Ads. The eighth point is search console queries. The ninth point is newsletter opens and the setting up of the email tracking. The 10th point is average time with the people spend on your page. The 11th point is top queries in the search results. The 12th point is top 10 landing pages of your website which gets a maximum search visitors for your website. The 13th point is Adsense queries and revenues which is generates, and the 14th point is goal conversion rate. So these are the 14 important points which you need to keep in mind while you want to know that how your website is performing on the search engines or the SERPs. So let's begin from the very first point, number of users and sessions. See, you have websites and the Google Analytics will clearly define you that how many users are there in your website and what is the session time, means how much time they spent on your page, on your website page, and it will clearly define that whether your website is performing well or not. If the session duration is more on your website page, then your website is performing well. If the session duration is less, then you have to work on it and keep it up to date so that your website visitors will spend more time on your website and you will get more traffic to your website. So the first point is completed. Now let's move forward to the second point. The second point is average session duration. Now the average session duration is a parameter which means the average session duration will dictate that how much time the user is spending on your website and how many clicks they are putting forward on your website, and it will define and it will help you to understand that how your website is performing on the SERPs. And if you can follow this track record of your website properly, then you will understand that whether your website is performing well or not on the SERPs. So the second point is also completed, that average session duration. And the third point is average page per session, means if you have a website and it comprises of 6 to 7 pages, like your about us page, your blog page, your service page, your whichever is landing whichever or the contact us page. Suppose you have a website, 5-page website which have an about us page, a service page, a home page, a contact us page, and a blog site and a blog page. and most of the visitors, suppose most of the visitors are coming from the blog page and they are spending time on their blogs, which they feel relevant for their needs, and your purpose is served. And if you see that from these particular pages you are getting more session time, then Google Analytics indicates that these pages of your website are important, and due to which your session time on the website is increasing, and it is one of the most important core indicator in the Google Analytics that your website is performing well, and you have to work on it to keep the traffic as intact for your website. So the third point is also gone, and I think there is no confusion in it. And let's come to the fourth point. Fourth point is ratio between the new to returning visitors. Now, what is the ratio of returning visitor and what is the ratio of new visitor? If the new visitor is more and the returning visitor is more, and more means what is there may be a certain parameter or the exact uh, comparison of the drop down value, which means increase in lifetime value and returning user will determine how well your campaigns drive new or existing users to your website. Okay, and let me tell me in detail also. As for example, if you have a website and this website have a new visitor and a returning visitor is visiting your website page time and again, and Google Analytics shows this fact clearly on its metrics, then it is a good sign that your website is performing well and people are returning to your sites time and again to gather that information. So always keep a track that whether the returning users and the new users are coming to the website or not, and this information you will get from the Google Analytics. So the fourth point is also completed. Now let's move to the fifth point, the bounce rate. We experts always maintain this fact, always believe in this fact that if the bounce rate of your website pages is less than 50%, then it is good for your website, and it clearly defines that your website is performing well. If your bounce rate is less, then your website is performing well. If your bounce rate is more, then your website needs, then you have to take certain actions to reduce that bounce rate, because if the bounce rate is more, which means your website pages is not providing relevant information to your users. You need to take care of this fact. If now you have to make changes, necessary changes to your website pages, and it will help you to reduce the bounce rate and to increase the website traffic in a particular point of time, so that you can get the maximum returning viewers to your website, to increase the traffic of your website, which is your ultimate goal. So keep this thing in mind while you are maintaining your professional business website, and keep this thing in mind while you are analyzing the Google Analytics code parameters. Sorry. Now the sixth point is organic versus paid sessions. See, there are two types of audiences which comes to your website. First, the audiences who come to your website out of their interest, which you have created on their mind. That is, we call it with a technical name organic searches. Now, if the visitors come on your website inorganically, which means you are running a website Google ads on your website, and clicking on these ads is people are coming on your website, then the acquisition which you are getting is good, but it will not stay long. So we digital marketing practitioners always believe and maintain and try to follow this thing, that we have more organic visitors than paid visitors, because once your subscription ends, then the paid visitors will reduce on your website. And so, but if you have organic visitors in your website, they will last long and they will deliver you the required results and traffic to your website which you need, which is essential for your organization actually. So the sixth point is also completed. So I think I have made this thing clear to you. Let's move to the 7 point. 7 point is Google Ads. Google Ads is also one of the most important part of Google Analytics, which shows that whether your website is performing well or not, and if the number of clicks are more on your Google Ads. It clearly defines the fact that your website, your conversion rate is more, if your website is performing well, the blogs of your website are performing well, and you have a positive sign on it. And if it is not, then you have to change your blogs, change your website structure, change your home pages, change your service pages, whichever is required, or whatever landing pages you are targeting to your website to make the people engaged with your organization or with the business site. So do not forget this thing on while you are identifying which factors in Google Analytics determines that whether your website page is performing well or not. Let's come to the 8th point, which is very crucial, which means newsletter options. If you are sending email newsletters to your target audience and your target audience click on it and provides you the traffic, it means that the traffic source is the newsletter and the email newsletter, which is quite important for your website to perform well in the search engines. And if it is less, then it is things to worry and you have to work on it. So do not skip this point while you are scrolling down the Google Analytics regarding the website performance. The 10th point is that the 10th point is the average time on the page. The average time on the page which the user spend on your website is quite important. And if the user is spending more time on your page, which means it is a good sign, and you will get the required results, which is essential for your website traffic. But if the average time or the campaigns you are targeting to your customers is not satisfying your required needs of your target audience, then things can go worse. So you have to keep this thing in mind while you are tracking the Google Analytics. If the average time spent on the page is more, then it shows a positive sign that your website is performing well. And if the average time spent on the page on the website page is less, then you have to work on it and keep the metrics right, so that you can gain more businesses in future. It will also determine your conversion rate of your business. Remember this thing, it's quite vital. The 11th point is top search queries, which pages you are getting. There are, suppose you have 10 website pages, and each page will not give you the same amount of search queries. Only few pages will give you the search queries more. And Google Analytics will help you to identify which pages are providing you maximum search queries, and depending on that you can work on it, so that you can get maximum search queries for your visitors, and it will help the search engines to rank your website well on the SERPs. Okay, and it is one of the most crucial points which you must not miss at your end while you are analyzing the Google Analytics regarding your website performance. The 12th point and the most crucial point: what are the top 10 landing pages which are performing well in your website? Your website may have 20 pages, your website may have 100 pages, your website may have 5 pages, your website may have 24 pages, but which top 10 pages are performing well and bringing results to your business? It is quite important. And if you can track those pages, then and Google Analytics will help you to track those pages, that which pages are giving you more conversion, which pages are giving you more session time, which pages is reducing your bounce rate. So All these points are interlinked with one another. You cannot skip any of the point to identify that whether your website is performing well on the SERPs or not. And AdSense revenue is 13 point, which identifies that whether the ads which you have run in your website is performing well or not, and whether it offering you the desired results or not that you are expecting from the Google search results. And the last and the most important point, that is 14th point, that Google conversion rate. After visiting your page, what is the conversion rate of your website, of your target audience? Means whether they are converting into a potential lead or not. Google Analytics will show these metrics also. So keep this thing in mind while you are analyzing the Google Analytics, whether your website is performing well or not. So if you can keep these 14 points in mind, then surely you will track the changes in your website, track the performance of your website, and it will help you to make necessary changes at the right point of time so that you can gain desired results for your organization. So thank you for today. If you like this video and find this fruitful and valuable to your organization and for your individual development, so please like, share and subscribe with your friends, family men and the colleagues, so that I can bring in more concrete videos regarding content writing and digital marketing in future. Thank you all. Have a nice day ahead.